Welcome to the Bacolod City Labor Partnership Podcast.
Mm.
We are diving deep into Bacolod City today, the city of smiles,
Yeah.
in the Philippines, using excerpts from Wikipedia and a website called Bacolod City Review.
Okay.
So hopefully by the end you'll have a better picture of this fascinating city.
I think we can do that.
Excellent. I think it's easy to get caught up in the modern Bacolod, but what's so fascinating to me is all the history.
Oh, absolutely. There's so many layers to this city,
Yeah.
going way back before the Spanish even arrived, to
Yeah.
the indigenous Negrants tribes.
Yeah, and speaking of those indigenous roots, it's those remnants of the past that I find so intriguing.
Mm.
You have those pottery shards and artifacts and burial sites.
It's true.
It's like a puzzle just waiting to be pieced together.
Yeah, and they give you a glimpse into their lives and their beliefs, their connection to the land.
Yeah.
It's important to remember that Bacolod's story doesn't begin with colonization. This has been going on for centuries.
Right, and of course the Spanish arrived in the 16th century.
Right.
And that must have been a pivotal moment in Bacolod's history.
Well-
Just a wave of changes that would shape the city.
Yeah, huge impact, especially when the Catholic missionaries came. They didn't just bring their faith. They established churches, schools, hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
It really shaped the culture and social landscape. You can't imagine Bacolod today without acknowledging that.
And it wasn't just about religion and culture. They saw the agricultural potential,
That's right.
particularly those fertile lands around Bacolod Bay,
Mm-hmm.
that set the stage for what would become a defining chapter in Bacolod's story, the rise of the sugar industry.
Indeed. The 19th century saw Bacolod just transform into this hub of sugarcane. Everything was plantations, as far as the eye could see,
Wow.
owned by these wealthy hacienderos, the sugar barons.
Right.
It brought prosperity, but also fueled those social and political dynamics that would eventually lead to their fight for independence.
That's like a historical drama unfolding.
It really is.
Like, on the one hand, you have this opulence and economic growth, and on the other, this revolutionary spirit brewing.
Exactly. And that's where things get really interesting. We see these figures like Aniceto Lacson and Juan Araneta emerge.
Right.
These were prominent figures in the Philippine Revolution. They came from Bacolod.
Wow.
And their fight for liberation from Spanish rule was so important, not just for the Philippines, but for Bacolod's identity.
And finally, they achieved that liberation from Spanish rule in November 1898.
It's incredible.
A new era for Bacolod, one of independence and self-governance. It must have been an exhilarating but uncertain time.
Oh, absolutely. But, progress isn't a straight line. There were challenges. The late 19th and early 20th centuries were a period of transition, shifting from Spanish to American colonial rule. They had to adapt while figuring out their own identity.
And then, of course, World War II,
Yes.
the Japanese occupation, that was a difficult period for the entire Philippines.
It was.
But the residents of Bacolod faced those challenges head-on, really showed their resilience.
Yeah, and it was from those ashes that Bacolod embraced the nickname the City of Smiles. The Mascara Festival was born in 1954, a deliberate act of defiance against adversity.
Wow.
It was their way to reclaim their joy, celebrate life, and show the world that they would not be broken.
That spirit of resilience and optimism, that defines Bacolod today.
I think so.
And speaking of which, for those of you who want to learn more, I encourage you to check out the Bacolod City Labor Partnership's YouTube channel and Facebook page.
Great resources.
Yeah, there's a ton of info there about Bacolod, its history, and its culture.
All right, so as we move on in Bacolod's journey, we see all these new opportunities for growth. New buildings pop up, commercial buildings, educational institutions. Bacolod becomes this hub for education, healthcare, commerce in Western Visayas.
It's like finding that balance between preserving their heritage and embracing progress.
Right.
But throughout all that growth, the warmth and welcoming spirit of Bacolod, that's what Filipinos love about it.
Absolutely. It's so well-deserved, that City of Smiles nickname. It's that genuine hospitality, that warmth that makes you feel at home right away.
It's a good reminder that progress isn't just about buildings and infrastructure.
Right.
It's about the people, the connections, the shared experiences.
It's what makes a city special.
And as Bacolod continues on its journey, it faces new challenges, just like any city does.
Of course.
But with that focus on education, healthcare, and sustainable development, and a growing IT BPO industry, Bacolod seems to be in a good position for continued growth and prosperity.
For sure. There's a lot to look forward to as we explore Bacolod's unique character, its cultural treasures, and its vision for the future.
So stay tuned as we continue to dive deep into Bacolod City. It's more than just a destination. It's an experience. And it's one that will leave you smiling.
Definitely will. You know what's remarkable It's how Bacolod holds onto its roots while still embracing progress.
Hmm.
Even today, you still see those sugarcane plantations everywhere.
Yeah.
As of 2003, most of the city's agricultural land was still sugarcane. This is
No.
really part of their identity.
Yeah, it's woven into their identity. And speaking of sugarcane, we can't talk about Bacolod without mentioning the food.
Oh, the food is incredible.
Yeah,
A real reflection of the culture.
it really is. And when it comes to Bacolod cuisine, we have to start with chicken and nasal.
Oh, absolutely. That's the star of the show.
What is it about this dish that makes it so special?
Well, it's all about the marinade. They use these local ingredients, like calamansi lemongrass annatto. It creates this savory, tangy flavor. And then they grill it over hot coals, so you get that smoky aroma and those slightly charred edges.
It sounds amazing.
It's a culinary
I can
experience.
only imagine. And it's traditionally served with a special dipping sauce, too, right?
Oh, yeah. The sauce is key.
What's in that?
It's usually a mix of vinegar, soy sauce, calamansi juice, and chili peppers. Gives it that tangy, spicy kick that balances the richness of the chicken.
It sounds like the perfect combination. And it's not just about the taste, right? There's a whole sense of tradition and community around it.
Oh, for sure. It's something that brings people together. Families gathering for a meal, friends having a late-night snack. It really embodies that spirit of Bacolod.
A true taste of Bacolod's soul. But wait, there's another dish I have to ask about piaya.
Piaya, what is it?
You have to try it. It's a must for anyone with a sweet tooth.
Okay.
Just imagine this thin, flaky flatbread filled with muscovado sugar, that rich caramel-like flavor.
It's amazing how simple ingredients like that can be so delicious.
I know, right?
And I hear there are variations on the classic piaya, too.
Yeah, some bakers get creative with the fillings. You'll find oob or mango sometimes.
Oh.
Adds a touch of sweetness and fruitiness. So Bacolod's culinary scene is always evolving.
It really is.
That's great. But we can't forget about those who prefer savory flavors. What about them?
Well, if you want something hearty and flavorful, go for kansi.
Kansi.
It's the slow-cooked beef shank and marrow soup. So comforting and satisfying.
Wow.
And they often use bachuan or kamiyas. These are local souring agents. Gives it this unique, tangy twist.
So from the smoky char of chicken and nasal to the sweet piaya and the hearty Kansi, Bacolod's culinary scene really offers something for everyone.
It really does. And it's not just the food, it's the atmosphere. You know, dining in Bacolod is a communal experience. It's all part of that warm, inviting charm.
It's true. Food is more than just sustenance. It's a way to connect and create memories. But let's move on from food for now and explore some of the landmarks in Bacolod.
Okay, sure. Let's start with the Panad Park and Sports Complex.
Okay.
It's this multi-purpose park, home to the Panad Stadium. They use it for football matches. It's the home stadium of the Series Negros FC team.
So for sports enthusiasts, that's a must visit.
Oh, yeah.
I bet the atmosphere is electric during a match. But it's not just about sports, right?
No, it's not. They also have the Panad San Negros Festival.
What's that?
It's a week-long celebration. They showcase the unique culture and traditions of all the cities and municipalities in the province. Panad actually means vow or promise in Hiligaynon.
Wow.
It symbolizes the unity and commitment of the people.
What a beautiful concept. So it's not just cultural diversity, but the shared dreams of the people, too. It sounds incredible.
It really is.
Yeah.
And speaking of vibrant celebrations, we can't forget about the Bacolod Public Plaza.
Oh, yeah.
It's the heart of the city where people gather and socialize, relax. It's also where they hold the final judging and competition for the Mascara Festival street dancing.
I can just imagine the energy there during the festival,
Oh, it's amazing.
surrounded by those colorful costumes and the music.
Absolutely. But if you want a bit of peace and quiet, the Capitol Park and Lagoon is perfect. It's very serene. You can stroll through the greenery, admire the carabao sculptures,
Oh, wow.
and just enjoy the peaceful lagoon.
It sounds like a blend of art and history.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you want to delve even deeper into the region's past, check out the Negros Museum. It's housed in a historic building. Showcases Negros Occidental's rich history.
So much history in one place.
You'll see artifacts, artworks, exhibits. It really tells the story of the region.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
And for those passionate about sports, beyond the Panad Stadium, there's also the Paglaum Sports Complex.
Oh, yes. Another historic venue.
It's great that they've preserved these historic venues.
Mhm.
They've hosted so many events over the years.
Like the 1991 Philippines International Cup and the football events of the 2005 Southeast Asian Games.
Really?
It shows how much they respect their past and their commitment to sports.
Yeah. And we can't forget about the Negros Occidental Multipurpose Activity Center, Anom Pac.
Right?
That's quite a name.
It is. It's right next to the Capitol Park and Lagoon.
Okay.
They use it for all sorts of things. Basketball, boxing, matches, cultural shows,
Wow.
even as an evacuation center during calamities.
That's a testament to Bacolod's community spirit. It's
Yeah.
amazing how they adapt that space to meet the needs of the people.
Exactly. And for something a little different, there's the art district along Laxon Street.
Oh, what's that?
You'll find these colorful street art murals and graffiti as a splash of creativity to the city.
It sounds like a visual feast.
Art isn't just confined to galleries.
Right.
It's everywhere in Bacolod. And speaking of vibrant experiences, have you heard of the Bacolod Baywalk?
I have. What can you tell me about it?
Well, it's privately owned. It's near the Breadco area.
Breadco.
Yeah, the
Okay.
Bacolod Real Estate Development Corporation. It's at the city's reclamation area. It's
So-
right on the Gamara Strait. You get these stunning views, especially at sunset.
It sounds beautiful. And for basketball fans, is there a place for them?
Definitely. They have the Bays Center.
The Bays Center.
Yeah, it stands for Bacolod Arts and Youth Sports Center.
Oh, okay.
They host basketball games, karate boxing matches, even mascara festival activities.
So it's a mix of sports and culture.
It is. And speaking of the well-being of residents,
Yeah.
let's talk about healthcare.
Okay.
Bacolod has a lot to offer in that area. They have the Corazon Loxon Montalbano Memorial Regional Hospital.
Wow, that's a mouthful.
It is. They call it CLMMRH for short.
Okay.
It's a public tertiary teaching learning hospital, and they're building a new one.
Oh, really?
Yes, the Bacolod City General Hospital. It's expected to be done in 2025.
That's great news.
Yeah.
More access to quality health care is always a good thing.
Absolutely. And they also have private hospitals, too.
Like what?
The Doctors Hospital, Inc., the Adventist Medical Center Bacolod, and the Dr. Pablo Otori Memorial Hospital.
So there are choices for people.
Yes, but it's not just about hospitals. Healthcare at the community level is important, too.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the Bacolod City Health Office comes in.
What do they do?
They implement and plan healthcare programs.
Yeah.
They supervise health centers in the different barangays.
So everyone has access to basic healthcare services.
That's the goal. And speaking of investing in the future, let's talk about education.
Okay.
Bacolod is a real hub for education in Western Visayas. They have 5 large universities and tons of other schools.
Wow. What are some of the prominent ones?
Well, there's the University of St. LaSalle.
Okay.
It's a Lasallian district school, and the second oldest campus founded by the De La Salle Philippines congregation. And then there's the University of Negros Occidental Recoletos,
Yeah.
run by the Order of Augustinian Recollects. It's actually the first university in Negros Occidental and Bacolod City.
So much history in these institutions. What other universities are there?
There's also STI West Negros University. It was founded by Baptist Protestants, but later acquired by STI Education Systems Holdings, Inc.
Okay.
And then there's Carlos Hilado Memorial State University, the only state university in Bacolod.
It's great that Bacolod has such a diverse range of educational institutions.
It really is. And they're always growing.
Oh, are there any new developments?
Yeah, they're actually getting a new National University Bacolod.
Wow.
It'll be their first satellite campus outside of Luzon.
That's amazing. What about other educational institutions?
Well, they have colleges, technical schools, and high schools.
Like what?
Colegio San Agustin, Bacolod Consolation College, Bacolod, and Riverside College, Inc.
It sounds like Bacolod has a really comprehensive educational system.
They do. And they've implemented the K-12 educational system, too.
Okay, so they're keeping up with the times.
Absolutely. They want to prepare their students for the 21st century.
That's great. So with all these institutions, people need a way to get around.
Right. So let's talk transportation.
Okay, what options does Bacolod have?
Well, if you're flying in, they have the Bacolod Sile Airport.
Okay.
It's actually in the nearby city of Sile.
Huh.
But it offers flights to all sorts of destinations. Manila, Cebu, Cagayan de Oro, Davao City.
So it's well connected.
It is. And if you're coming by sea, you'll probably dock at either the Breadfulco port or the Banago Wharf.
Okay.
They have fast craft ferries that go to Iloilo City daily.
What companies operate those?
Wisam Express, OceanJet, Montenegro Lines, Supercat.
So plenty of choices.
Yeah.
And what about traveling within the city?
Well, Bacolod has a good road network.
Okay.
You can get around by car or public transport if you're driving. The main roads are Laxon Street and Araneta Street.
Okay.
Laxon runs north, Araneta runs south, and a lot of the streets downtown are one-way.
That makes sense. It helps with traffic flow.
It does.
Yeah.
And for public transport, they have jeepneys, buses, and taxis.
Ugh, the jeepneys.
A classic.
They are.
What about ride-hailing services?
Oh, yeah. They have Grab now, too.
That's convenient.
It is. And for those who want to explore at their own pace, There are accredited transport cooperatives,
What do they offer?
car rentals, tour packages, things like that.
That's a good option for more flexibility. But with all this transportation, what about traffic congestion?
Well, they have flyovers.
Flyovers?
Yeah, to help ease congestion at busy intersections.
Okay.
Like the Laxon Circumferential flyover.
Yeah.
It's really helped with travel times.
It's good that they're investing in infrastructure.
They are. And they have other important roads, too, like B.S. Aquino Drive.
Okay.
It connects different parts of the city.
So they've put a lot of thought into their transportation network.
They have.
Oh.
But it's not just about within the city. They also have connections to other cities.
Right.
They have sister city partnerships.
Oh, what are those?
It's a way to foster cultural exchange and collaboration.
Like what city? Well, within the Philippines, they have Dumaguete, Iloilo City, Legazpi, in Albay Makati, Naga, in Camarines, Superanaque, Taguig, Cebu City.
Wow, that's a lot. And what about internationally?
Internationally, they have Andong in South Korea,
Okay.
Darwin in Australia, Kamloops in Canada, Keelung in Taiwan, Long Beach in California, Singaraja in Indonesia.
It's amazing how they've built these connections all over the world.
It is, and it's not just symbolic.
Right.
They often have student exchange programs, joint tourism initiatives. They even share knowledge on things like urban planning.
That's fantastic. So they're really embracing their global connections. And speaking of global connections, we can't forget about the IT BPO industry.
Oh, that's a big one.
It's really putting Bacolod on the map.
It is. They've attracted a whole new wave of residents, people looking for opportunities.
So what's contributed to their success in this area?
Well, they have a young and educated workforce.
Okay.
The cost of living is relatively low, and they have that reputation for being warm and welcoming.
A winning combination. And has Bacolod received any recognition for this?
Yes. In 2013, they were declared a Center of Excellence for IT Business Process Management Operations
Wow, by who?
by the Department of Science and Technology.
That's huge.
It puts them on par with places like Metro Manila, Metro Cebu, and Clark Freeport Zone.
So they're in the big leagues now.
Mm-hmm.
And what companies have set up shop there?
Oh, there are many: Concentrix Teleperformance, T-Tech, IQR, Transcom, Ubiquity Global Services.
Wow, some big names.
They recognize Bacolod's potential, but rapid growth can bring challenges.
Right.
But Bacolod's being proactive. They've invested in a dedicated IT BPO outsourcing hub,
What's it called?
the Negro's First Cyber Center, or NFCC for short.
Tell me more about it.
Well, it's a state-of-the-art facility. It offers a modern work environment for BPO companies.
Okay.
They have high-speed internet training centers, even recreational areas for employees.
It sounds very impressive.
It is. And for those who want to learn more about this, I encourage you to check out the Bacolod City Labor Partnership's YouTube channel and Facebook page.
They're great resources.
Yes. You'll find all sorts of information about Bacolod's growth.
Now, as we've seen, Bacolod's success isn't just about infrastructure and economic growth.
Right.
It's about the people, too.
Absolutely. The individuals who have shaped the city.
So who are some of the notable people who have left their mark on Bacolod?
Well, one of the most prominent is Avelio Leonardia.
Okay.
He's a lawyer and politician who served as mayor multiple times. His leadership has been very influential.
What about other notable people?
There's Alfredo Montalbano Sr. He was the first city mayor
Oh, wow.
after Bacolod officially became a city in 1938.
So he really helped lay the foundation.
He did. And in sports, we have James Younghusband.
James Younghusband.
Yeah, he's a Filipino English footballer.
Okay.
He was actually born in England, but he grew up in Bacolod.
Huh?
He played for the Asgulls, the Philippine national team.
Wow. He's a symbol of Bacolod's passion for football.
He is. And in entertainment, they have Kula Desma.
Cool Lizem the singer.
Yes, she's a talented singer-songwriter.
I know her music.
Her success has brought a lot of pride to Bacolod.
It's great to see how these individuals from different fields have contributed to Bacolod.
It is. They show that Bacolod is a city of dreams and possibilities.
And it's those people that make a city special.
They do. Their talent, creativity, and resilience, it all shapes the city.
As we've explored, Bacolod is more than just facts and figures.
Right.
It has a heart and a soul.
It's captivating.
It really is. So as we wrap up this part of our dive into Bacolod, let's just take a moment to appreciate it.
Yeah.
From its humble beginnings to now a thriving metropolis.
It's come a long way.
And it shows resilience, adaptability, and a spirit of progress.
It does. And as we've seen, it's a city of contrasts.
Yeah.
Ancient and modern, bustling and tranquil.
It's a mix of everything.
It is. You can indulge in the food, immerse yourself in the culture, explore the landmarks, marvel at the architecture.
It's an experience.
It is. And Bacolod's story is still being written.
That's true.
There's so much potential.
So for our listeners who are intrigued, I encourage you to keep exploring.
Do some research.
Maybe take a virtual tour.
And visit in person when you can.
Bacolod is more than just a destination.
It's an experience.
And one that will stay with you.
It will.
And for those who want to learn more,
yeah.
check out the Bacolod City Labor Partnership's YouTube channel and Facebook page.
They're great resources.
They are. You'll find more stories and insights there.
Now, before we conclude this part, I want to leave you with a question.
Okay.
What role might you play in Bacolod's future? Think about it. Supporting local businesses.
Yeah.
Promoting tourism, investing in the city.
Even just spreading the word.
Exactly. We all have the potential to contribute to Bacolod's success.
Yeah, it really is powerful. We can all play a part in shaping the future. Even a place as far away as Bacolod. It shows how connected we all are.
Exactly. It's about the choices we make. Even something as simple as supporting ethical businesses or just sharing our positive experiences, it all adds up.
It does, and Bacolod is definitely a city worth supporting.
Oh, for sure.
With that spirit of resilience and progress.
And that warmth.
Yeah. As we've gone through its history, culture, food, and aspirations for the future, one thing is clear.
What's that?
Bacolod leaves a lasting impression.
It does. It touches you. It sparks your curiosity. It makes you want to be part of its story. In a world that can feel overwhelming sometimes, there are places like Bacolod where joy, resilience, and human connection are still so strong.
And that's a message worth sharing.
It is.
We can all learn from Bacolod, finding beauty and strength in the face of adversity, believing in the power of community, and working towards a brighter future for everyone.
Absolutely. Bacolod's story is truly inspiring. It speaks to the human spirit.
It does.
Our ability to innovate, adapt, and show compassion.
And it reminds us to look beyond ourselves.
Be those connections.
Yes. So as we conclude this deep dive into Bacolod City, the city of smiles.
It's been a journey.
It has. We want to leave you with a sense of hope and possibility.
And a belief in the power of human connection.
We encourage you to keep exploring.
Find those stories that inspire you.
And find ways to make a positive impact.
In your community or in the world.
And if you ever feel lost.
Or discouraged.
Just remember the Mascara Festival.
The chicken and asel.
The warmth of the Bacolod people.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that even when things are tough, there's always a reason to smile. Celebrate life and believe in a better tomorrow.
Thank you for joining us on this journey.
We hope you enjoy this deep dive into Bacolod City. And for those who want to continue exploring, visit the Bacolod City Labor Partnership's YouTube channel and Facebook page.
Lots of great information there.
There is. Thank you for listening to the Bacolod City Labor Partnership podcast.